California, where I live, is facing an escalating landslide crisis, one that's growing worse each year. My name is Ryan Lee, and I'm proposing an innovative and sustainable bioengineer solution to address this urgent environmental challenge. The map on the right-hand side is showing the different places in California that faced landslide in January 2023. In just 3 weeks, there were over 700 landslides. This massive disaster resulted in an estimated $1 billion in infrastructural damages. It affected more than 500,000 lives, and unfortunately, 11 people lost their lives. Landslide is also known as landslip, skyfall, or rockslide. There are four different types of landslides: slumping, soil creep, rockfall, and debris fall. Among these, rockfall occurs when water saturates the slope. It triggers a landslide of wet soil. Debris flow occurs suddenly due to heavy rain and loosened rocks that slide down. California has experienced all types of landslides due to its young mountain, steep terrain, and shifting rocks and soil. However, climate change has become the primary driver of landslides today. Extreme rainfall leads to water accumulation in the soil, which increases soil pressure and weakens soil strength. Next, wildfire destroys soil porosity, which increases the chance of landslides to occur. Additionally, rising sea level creates heavily saturated soil, making it more prone to break away. There are many traditional ways to prevent landslides, such as improving drainage, reinforcing slopes, removing weak soil, preserving vegetation, and constructing walls. However, these methods are expensive, time-consuming, require maintenance, and often harmful to the environment. Therefore, eco-friendly and cost-effective alternative solutions are needed. The purpose of this research is to turn harmful waste into protective tools, addressing both environmental damage and disaster resilience at once. Accordingly, I developed novel bioengineering nets by combining functional bacteria with invasive seaweed and investigated their use in landslide-prone areas for effective prevention. To develop the solution, key materials were selected for their potential in landslide prevention. Jalankom and Zengdankom, both polysaccharides produced by functional bacteria and biologically safe, are used in the food industry. Jalankom are biopolymers produced by Spingomonas species, which were chosen for their safety, low cost, and soil binding properties. Additionally, I selected Sargassum horneri, an invasive seaweed overpopulating the California coastline and causing environmental issues, because it can serve as an eco-friendly alternative to traditional concrete barriers. Next, I will introduce the materials and methods for preparation and three major tests performed in this research. Ingredients were prepared using 0.1% and 0.01% concentrations of Jalankom and Zengdankom, various concentrations of artificial seawater, and 0.01 absorbance of Spingomonas solution. First, a soil strength test was conducted using sand dune models made from sea sand. Some models were treated with Jalankom and Zengdankom and Spingomonas solution, while others were left untreated. Each model was placed on a rocker and shaken 46 times per minute to stimulate the force of ocean waves. Then I observed the sand pores using a microscope to determine whether the polysaccharides filled them following treatment. Next was the flood simulation test. Two landslide models were created in separate containers. Each container has sea sand and plotting soil with or without GXP mixture, placing Lego houses on top. I planted seeds in both to confirm the materials were safe for plant growth. Both were watered daily to mimic increasing water saturation, then shaken to test their resilience to landslides under flood-like conditions. Finally, shock absorption tests compared the impact resistance of a traditional concrete wall with net made from sargassum. A slope was set up with the potato chips placed at the bottom, and cups with crushed stones of different weights were rolled down toward the barriers. The extent of chip breakage rated on a scale from 0 to 10 helped measure how well each material absorbed impact. Now I'll explain the result of the 6 tests I conducted. To determine whether Spingomonas can withstand not only heavy rainfall but also seawater flooding, it was tested for survival in various salinity ranges from 0% fresh water to 3.4% in seawater. As shown in Figure 3, Spingomonas grew well across all tested salinity levels among 0.9% salinity was the most favorable for its growth. The second test aimed to check whether the sand pores were filled after the GXP treatment. Figure 4 shows that the control model, the sand pores were not filled, while others who got treated with Sphingomyces gelancum and or xanthancum had their sand pores filled up. This result shows the effectiveness of GXP in maintaining soil strength under wave-like conditions. As shown in Figure 5 left, the xanthancum or xanthancum and sand samples remained stable even after 120 seconds of continuous shaking, whereas the control sand began to shift within 30 seconds. As shown in Figure 5 right, notably the samples containing Sphingomyces displayed increasing stability over time. In addition, sargassum effectively reduced sand displacement, acting as a barrier to erosion for more than 7 days. The flood simulation test was designed to evaluate how well the models could withstand erosion during flooding. In the control model, significant erosion began to appear during stages 3 and 4. In stages 5 and 6, the soil in front of the houses were eroded. In contrast, the GXP treated model remained stable until stages 5 and 6. Only minor erosion was observed during the most intense shaking phases, stages 7 and 8. These results highlight the effectiveness of the GXP mixture in protecting soil structure and preventing landslides during flood simulation. The shock absorption test was designed to simulate the impact of a rockfall during a landslide. As shown in Figure 7a, potato chips protected by the sargassum net remained uncracked when struck by 180 grams of crushed rock. In contrast, more chips broke when protected by a concrete wall or left uncovered. Also, when the net was hit by 360 grams and 640 grams of rocks, the chips broke less than the other groups, indicating that the sargassum net provided the best shock absorption. The last result is about the flood prevention ability test. It was determined which model best prevents water from seeping into the soil, since excessive water infiltration can destabilize the ground. After applying the same amount of water to each setup, the GXP-coated sargassum net exhibited effective drainage. Now I'll explain the summarized research results. The GXP-coated sargassum net developed through this research presents a sustainable, accessible, and cost-effective solution for preventing landslides triggered by floods. It offers a dual approach. Gelancum and xanthancum provide immediate soil reinforcement as a short-term measure, while the functional bacteria Sphingomyces ensures long-term stabilization through ongoing bioactivity. The GXP-coated sargassum net provides a sustainable solution for stabilization and erosion control in coastal and flood areas, such as California. Additionally, the net recycles invasive seaweed, supporting environmental protection and waste management. For future, I want to find out how long the bioengineer can last, if it affects earthquake or wildfires, and combining this result with other technological innovations and landslide prevention strategies. Thank you.